Thanks for coming out, parents, grandparents. Kind of a rainy day, so I guess it's good that we're inside. And the sun might be shining tomorrow, maybe, hopefully. But, oh, dear, wow. Another year has gone by so fast with all the missed days from snow days and other things going on. Kind of a messed up year, But we got through it. We had fun. We learned a lot. We learned a lot about me, I think, a little bit. How I work, what do we do. We had some laughs, those kind of things. But we're at the end, again. Did a lot of good things. If you look up on the wall over here, we have our no smoking. We talked about tobacco. That was one of our topics that we talked about. Kind of a hot topic around with vaping and all those kind of things going on right now. So, my techie person, they left. We're going to say thank you to them for what they're doing. So, I like to open it up sometimes for questions. If there's anybody that has a question about what we're doing and how we do it, you can ask me afterwards or those kind of things. That's great too. So, with that, we'll have Dr. Richardson open up a little bit here.
Good afternoon, everyone. Just want to take a couple minutes quickly to just thank you all for being here. I'd like to thank Officer Statham for his time this year and every year working with our sixth graders, helping them learn just some tools and have some tools as they go up to secondary school on ways to making sure they're making good decisions for themselves as far as how to do what's right for them, how to strive for their goals, not to succumb to peer pressure. And we've got, I think it's a great group of sixth graders, a little bit partial because my daughter's in there somewhere. But it's a great group, and want to thank our sixth grade teachers for doing such a great job and supporting these guys this year. Again, thank you all for being here. I want to thank Jeff for coming today and thank the mayor. So I'll turn it over to Officer Statham and roll.
All right. Thank you. All right, a little message from our mayor today. Have a few words to say? Great.
Thank you, Chief Statham. Appreciate that. Welcome to D.A.R.E graduation 2019. The weather may be a little rainy outside, but it's the sun is shining in here today, right, for this graduation, and everybody's excited. We want to welcome the D.A.R.E students, the D.A.R.E parents, grandparents, and other family members, teachers. We have Mrs. Gottenborg, Mrs. Milchich, and Mr. Moe. Also our speaker, Mr. Jeff Askew is here with us again today, and Jeff was saying this is like his 5th time here, so we're almost on first name basis, right? That's great. So thank you for being here. Life has its challenges, and we all will be faced with challenges in our life, and it's great to go through a program like this where you know how to face those challenges and hurdles that you may have in life, and also that you can turn to other people that have also have this training so you can confide with them, your peers, and ask them questions about problems in your life and what you should do so you can work the problem out for its best case scenario. So welcome each and every one of you here this afternoon. Thank you.
We have the recognition of the teachers, but earlier today I went around and gave them a couple of sweatshirts and things like that, so they wouldn't have to come up here. They're kind of shy, I guess, so. They did a great job. If we didn't have them, we wouldn't be here. I tell you, it's the year this year with kind of being messed up with all the snow days like we talked about earlier. The time that I get called, those kind of things happen, they're the greatest. So you need to give them a round of applause. Now, the year goes by so fast. This summer is going to be my 40th class reunion. I have a couple of classmates here that I went to school with, hung around with, those kind of things. And so it's kind of exciting when I see those students and the parents, of those students, and what we did when we were younger, and some of those things. And now their kids are coming through and graduating from D.A.R.E and moving on to high school. It's kind of you think it goes slow, but I tell you, boys and girls, the years go by so fast, you don't even realize that you're in elementary school, and then, wow, you're in 7th grade over in the big house, and it goes fast. So take everything that you can and soak it all up, because it goes fast. All right? Well, this year we do our essays on what the kids have learned. And you're gonna hear some things that it really it'll hit you with what they talk about. So with that, if the students would come up with their essays. Who's up first, Claire?
Hi, my name is Claire Shaleski, and this is my D.A.R.E report. What D.A.R.E means to me is to make good choices and to not do drugs. I'm choosing to not do drugs because drugs can be a killer. They can cause cancer, bad lungs, addiction, facial and character changes, and many more problems. D.A.R.E is a class that the 6th grade has to take, which is taught by Officer Statham. In D.A.R.E, I have learned about drugs and the D.A.R.E decision-making model. What I learned during D.A.R.E is about drugs and what they can do to you. We also learned other things about drugs. Like, did you know that there's tar in a cigarette, and approximately 6,000 young people try a cigarette each day, and 3,000 become daily smokers? We have learned about marijuana, cigarettes, alcohol, and about bullying. We even got to put on these goggles that make you see the world like a drunk person would. The D.A.R.E decision-making model is define, assess, resolve, and evaluate. Define means to state the problem. Assess means talk about it and what are your choices. Resolve means make a choice. Evaluate means did you make a good choice. We use this model to help us solve problems. I will use what I have learned in D.A.R.E in my life. I will use it in the next so many years, because if you're a high schooler, you should not be smoking or drinking alcohol. But if you're a 21-year-old, that's a different story for drinks. I will not drink because alcohol is bad for you if you drink too much. It can cause your brain to get mixed up, or you forget your rights and lefts. Plus, smoking is pretty much a killer for your lungs. If someone offers me a cigarette or a drink, I will not accept it, because it is not an okay choice to do that. If it is a drink and I'm over 21, I'll go along to the bar or something, but I will not drink anything. A cigarette, though, I will never accept. I'll use D.A.R.E the next couple years and my whole life to make good choices. Thank you for listening.
Hi, my name is Hannah, and this is my D.A.R.E report. D.A.R.E has helped a lot of us 6th graders not just learn about drugs, but become a better person. We all have some flaws and we aren't all perfect. D.A.R.E has improved my skills on understanding how drugs can mess up your body and mess up your brain and how it functions. Previously, my biological dad passed away 3 years ago to a drinking problem. I learned that drinking is extremely bad for your health, and I also learned how we got addicted. I learned that being a better person doesn't necessarily mean to be amazing and perfect. It means not to be just a snotty little person. It means to be a nice, kind-hearted person. In the future, I plan to go to college to pursue my dream of being an early education teacher. D.A.R.E helped me understand that you don't need drugs to make you happy, you don't need alcohol to make you happy, you don't need vape to make you happy, you don't even need marijuana to make you happy. D.A.R.E helped me know that whenever someone is getting bullied, to stand up and help. Just think if you were getting hurt. That's why I call it a split second. You have a split second to think if you're going to help that person or leave the situation alone and not get involved. I learned that drugs can be harmful in so many ways. Sometimes I wish that drugs were never involved with kids at all. Kids that do drugs can have a higher chance of dying than adults. Also, I wish that people could be more smart and not get involved with that kind of stuff. I don't understand how they can put that into your body after knowing what it can do, but also they got addicted. Everything I know about marijuana. Marijuana is an illegal substance. Using, holding, buying, or selling marijuana can get you suspended or expelled from your school. This will hurt your chances of getting a job in the future. You don't need it. Over 86% of 12 through 17-year-olds have not tried marijuana, and I'm one of them. I myself have never and will never try marijuana. Marijuana has multiple names such as pot, herb, weed, Aunt Mary, skunk, boom, ganga, kiff, Mary Jane, gangster, or chronic. There's over 200 slang terms for marijuana. Here's some things I know about alcohol, including beer, wine, and hard liquor is the most commonly used and most widely abused drug in the country. Everybody doesn't do drugs. From our yearbook, listen to what kids are saying. Elise, age 15. Your body can't handle a powerful drug like alcohol. It slows and dulls your thinking, slows your coordination, and changes the way you see things. You can also lose control and make some pretty bad decisions. I agree with this because she really tells what drugs and alcohol can do to you. Nobody in this world understands how much drugs can really do to you. Nobody in this world loves losing loved ones due to drugs and alcohol. Nobody in this world likes being put into a jail cell. So why do it? Why put yourself into a situation that your cooperation can't get you out of? Why put your loved ones in a spot where you're in a surgery room and they have no idea what you've done? All because of peer pressure and that another put on you and that you could have gotten yourself out of. Just say no, that's all. Just say no. Don't put yourself into those situations. Vape and e-cigarettes also can be harmful. They give your lungs something called popcorn lungs. That's a condition that damages your lungs' smallest airways that makes you cough and feel short of breath. It's sometimes caused by breathing in a chemical used to flavor microwave popcorn, such as vape juice that is normally seen in a Juul. More than 13,000 young people between the ages of 15 and 34 were sampled. The data showed that 11.2% of the 18 through 21-year-olds reported ever using a Juul. Additionally, among those ages 15 through 17 who used a Juul in the past 30 days, 56% used the device 3 days a week. D.A.R.E stands for Drug Abuse Resistance Education, or our D.A.R.E decision-making model stands for define, describe the problem, challenge, or opportunity, assess what are your choices, respond, make a choice, use the facts and the information you have gathered, evaluate, review your decision. Did you make a good choice? Why do young people get involved with alcohol, tobacco, or drugs, you may ask? To feel grown up, escape hardships, or just plain peer pressure? U.S. kids should think it's cool, but of course I don't know if our grade, but I know our grade doesn't. But other kids might think it's cool or take after their older brothers and sisters. I don't think they understand how bad it really is and how much trouble you can get into. Thank you, Officer Statham, for teaching my grade how harmful drugs and alcohol, and even maybe we all will be smart enough to listen to your wise words. I really want to thank you for that. And here's one of the quotes that helped me through D.A.R.E this year. Recovery is hard, regret is harder.
Hi, my name is Javier Urbano, and this is my D.A.R.E report. Have you ever wondered what drugs and alcohol do to you and how they can cause serious health issues? If you want to know, this article is for you to help you make good choices when you're older. Some people try to convince you to make bad choices, and that is why people under the age of 18 try drugs and start to smoke. Many companies use many different flavors to addict kids to vape at a very young age. If there are people that try to convince you to try vaping, smoking, drinking, and other things, tell an adult right away. Or if it is serious, tell a police officer like Mr. Statham. If you see someone doing something that they are not supposed to, tell an adult so that they can tell their parents. Here are some myths that people used to think. Number 1, alcohol warms your body. That is not true. Actually, alcohol may make the drinker feel warmer because it causes blood to rise to the surface of the skin. However, the body temperature is actually lowered because of the heat loss. Myth number 2 is that getting drunk is funny, but maybe in the movies or in jokes, but not in real life. Drunkenness is no funnier than any other self-destructive behavior or lifestyle. This is the last myth, and it is that people drive better when or after a few drinks. That is one of the biggest myths because people think they are driving better after they've had a few drinks or more, but really they are driving worse. Alcohol affects driving ability and judgment. At least half of all fatal highway accidents involve alcohol. Did you know that more than 400,000 Americans die from tobacco-related causes each year? Smoking can yellow your teeth and cause bad breath, and also can dry your skin and cause wrinkles. There are more than 200 known harmful chemicals in cigarette smoke. Almost 50,000 deaths per year can be attributed to secondhand smoke. In the United States, it is illegal to sell tobacco products to anyone under the age of 18, 19 in some states. Mixing alcohol with medicine is dangerous. Information for parents and guardians to keep your kids away from drugs. Help your child develop a healthy self-image. Kids feel better when their parents praise efforts as well as accomplishments. Everybody likes to praise. Get a hug or a high five for a job well done. Begin early to talk about these things and keep the lines of communication open. The most important thing you need to know, to teach your child to do is to say no. Here's a story of why you should teach your child to be confident around other people. A police officer asked the question of a young boy that had known that he had just arrested for drug abuse. Why didn't you just say no? The boy replied, I wanted to, I just didn't know how. And that is why you should teach your kids to say no to drugs and to know that drugs and other addictive supplements that are bad for you and your health. Dare to me means that we should be responsible and make good choices with or without your parents. In my opinion, I think you should never do drugs and other bad things.
Being in D.A.R.E class, I had a lot on my mind. I had so many questions about drugs and alcohol. How are drugs addictive? What can nicotine do to you? What even is nicotine? Officer Statham said everything between marijuana and bullying. Knowing the truth scared me. Even when people know drugs are bad, they still do it. I didn't want to turn out like that. I didn't want to carry around the smell of alcohol or smoke. I wish we could live in a world where there was nothing bad. That would have to mean 23 million people would have to stop. But only 1 in 4 people actually stop. And smoking doesn't just affect yourself, it affects the people around you too. But that wasn't what scared me the most. What scared me was not speaking up when people tell me to do things like smoking or vaping, that I wouldn't say anything and just do what they say. 20 years ago, we didn't have to worry about that kind of stuff. It's sad that's the world we live in. We also talked about communicating without our phones, having a real conversation. One day, my family went to DQ for supper. There was also a couple who was eating there too, but they weren't talking. I looked over and they were both on their phones. Things like that bug me. Everywhere I go, I see people on their phones. When I finish practice, people are on their phones. They might be calling someone or texting, but it's when people are just taking selfies on our apps like Snapchat or Instagram, that's when it bugs me. Another thing we studied was bullying. In first grade, I slept in, so my mom got my outfit ready. It was simple: a pair of jeans, a sweatshirt, and a Vikings jersey that I never worn before. At lunch, I showed the jersey to a friend, but more than my friend aside. Soon everyone in my class was laughing. I don't know if it was first grade behavior or teasing me for the fact that I'm wearing a boyish shirt. It's funny because that very next week, I saw a girl in grade above me with a Vikings jersey. Bullying isn't funny, and it's not going to give you brownie points. Also, I've never worn a Viking jersey to school since, if that means anything to you. So what's my point? No one likes bullies. So yeah, being in D.A.R.E class, I did have a lot on my mind. And now I understand the whole point. I have no idea what my life is going to be like, but I do know that I'm not doing drugs or pushing people down or going to be stuck inside on a beautiful day taking selfies. I mean, you only have one life, so if I were you, I'd live it like it was 20 years ago.
My name is Channing. In my D.A.R.E class, Officer Statham asked us what D.A.R.E means to us. So I'm going to tell you what D.A.R.E means to me. D.A.R.E class has taught me a lot of things. What D.A.R.E means to me is that it's my life lesson that I'll never forget. I'm going to use the decision-making model every day of my life. D.A.R.E class has taught me a lot of responsibilities that I have in my life and what is to come. Someday when I have children, I'm going to tell them the decision-making model and tell them not to ever do drugs or alcohol. What I've learned in D.A.R.E class is Officer Sam told us about drugs such as marijuana, heroin, cocaine, and alcohol. Cool fact, did you know that pop has a drug in it? It is called caffeine. He also told us about the decision-making model with the steps to solve a problem. Another cool fact, D.A.R.E stands for the decision-making model. D stands for define, A stands for assess, R stands for respond, E stands for evaluate. That's what D.A.R.E stands for. He also told us the effects you can have from doing drugs and alcohol. He also told us what can happen in your later life from doing drugs and alcohol. How I plan to use what I learned. I plan to use my knowledge to tell the kids decision-making model and tell them not to do drugs and alcohol. But if they don't listen, I will tell them what can happen to their health and the consequences they can have in their later life. I will use the decision-making model to solve every problem I have in my early life and my future life. I will also use it when any of my friends are doing something they're not supposed to be doing. I will use the decision-making model and also do the right thing. Facts. More than 50,000 people die from secondhand smoking. There are 75,000 deaths each year from alcohol. There are more than 200 harmful chemicals in cigarette smoke. 400,000 Americans die from tobacco each year. Smoking will yellow your teeth and cause bad breath. From smoking, you can get lung cancer, and it weakens the heart and also slows down the blood flow. Alcohol affects the blood flow to your brain and affects the brain. It can also cause memory loss, slow reflexes, and loss of self-control. We can block the messages sent to your brain, and it also can affect your memory, but it can decrease your heart rate. But most of all, they will all affect your health, so don't do drugs and alcohol.
Awesome job. It's hard to pick. I mean, I sat up on Sunday night. I was up till 11, 12 o'clock just trying to go through many of them, several times, trying to pick. They're all good. I wish we could sit here and listen to them all. We can do that if you want. All right. Each year I try and think about, I look at each class. Each class is different, of course. They all have their own certain kind of, they're all unique, I guess. I look at kindness. That's kind of like the thing I kind of think about. And this year I just want to recognize probably one of the kindest persons I guess I've seen in class. Sarah Hogan, where are you? Stand up there. Thank you. She, if I had something to add, to do or whatever, she was right there to help me do whatever needed to be done. Folding papers or whatever we need to do. So I appreciate that, sir. All right. Well, to move on here as we get done, we're not here all day. Afterwards, we do have some cookies and juice on the 6th grade wing. Come on down and join us for that. My daughters aren't here, but they're down there serving with a couple of their friends, Jill and Hannah. So that's where we'll go afterwards. But with that, I just want to, with our speaker today, is the situation that we had 5 years ago when I first met him. Well, probably a little longer than that now, I guess. I remember him back in college when he was playing a little basketball. He was a pretty good player back in those days. I think he probably still is. I think he probably invented the three-point shot, but I'm not sure. Back at NDSU. We had, my son was playing basketball a number of years ago when he was in 6th grade on up, and he had a tournament. And there was a guy in one of the other teams, he was the referee. I said, I know that guy. I can't remember who that guy is, but I know who he is. I remember him from someplace. After all, it turned out to be Jeff Askew. I asked around, I called around to NDSU to get some phone numbers for him. They got a little kind of excited about what was going on. I was a police officer looking for Jeff Askew. Couldn't quite figure that out. I think I went around campus and go, hey, the cops are looking for Jeff. He's pretty well known on the NDSU campus, of course. But If he wants to elaborate on his story, I'm sure that there's probably friends that could probably tell him some pretty good stories about that situation with the police calling Jeff. But with that, we want to bring a round of applause for Jeff Askew. He's in this year. All right, we bring it on, Jeff.
Good evening, how everyone doing? By now you should know I'm Jeff Askew. Yeah, this guy is crazy. He pretty much put an APB out on me. I was getting these phone calls saying, Jeff, the police officers are looking for you. And I'm like, what are police officers looking for me for? You know, like, I don't know, I thought you stayed out of trouble. And I said, I am staying out of trouble. I said, well, why the police is trying to track you down? I said, that's a good question. So, of course, anybody else would have called the police station and find out why they was looking for me. Not me. And I wouldn't answer the phone, and he kept calling. I was like, nope. So, but I wasn't in trouble. He wanted me to come and speak with the 6th graders D.A.R.E program. I love to be around kids. I love to be in the gym. And I'm just going to talk about myself for a little bit. I grew up in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And the one girl said that 20 years ago everything was lovely. Not really. Growing up in Milwaukee, talking about peer pressure. To elaborate on that, more peer pressure is when people come up to you and they force you to do something. Say like when I went outside and I ran into 5 of my friends. And it all starts about what's going on at home. And if them parents let them 3 kids smoke weed, smoke cigarettes, drink beer, they was definitely going to drag me into that same group. And I got dragged into that group. The thing about Milwaukee when I was growing up, and I graduated in 1979, you didn't even know when I played they didn't even have 3-pointers. But I just shot out far. But growing up in Milwaukee was really, really tough for me. Like I say, the peer pressure when I would go outside, run into those same group of people, forcing me to drink, forcing me to smoke, forcing me to do bad things. I grew up around some kids that, man, they wanted to break in houses, they wanted to break windows out, they wanted to do everything they could to not go to school or be expelled. And the one great thing that happened to me was my mom. My mom was a solid rock. And a lot of stealing going on. If you had your bike in the lawn, they would come and take it in 5 minutes. I did a lot of running from crime, drugs, games. I ran for at least 10 years just to get away. And peer pressure is tough. It's real tough. And my mom used to sit me down and talk to me, and she would say, I don't want you to be like those other kids. But I am like those other kids. And she said, that is correct, but you can be different. And she kept talking to me and talking to me and talking to me, telling me about the streets. I was so close to going to jail, not being able to go to school. When I got older, I realized how close I was to going to jail because of the things I was doing. And the one thing that really saved me besides my mom was sports. I said, if I can go play basketball, these people will leave me alone, or I can leave them alone. So I picked up basketball and I played it every day. And it got me away from the gangs, got me away from the corrupt people. But now, since I'm a good basketball player, now they want to be my friend. So it's no running away from them. So it's up to you to make that decision when to say no. Yeah, my mom talked to me, but once I leave out of that door, she didn't have a clue of what was going on. She had a pretty good idea, because we're talking about 2 million folks in Milwaukee. I don't even like to go back to Milwaukee. I came to Fargo in 1979, and I never went back. I stayed in Fargo. Fargo was a good community, educated community. But don't get me wrong, Fargo has the same problems as Milwaukee does. And here I thought, being in a small town, that all that would go away. But it did not go away. You got people now coming from Chicago, LA, Los Angeles, coming to Fargo just for 10 days, bringing in drugs, get in, get out. So all through my life, it's been troubling for me to stay clean, to stay out of trouble. And again, I go back to my mom. And she said, if you ever bring something home that I didn't buy, you better take it back where it came from. Whether it was a bike, clothing, or whatever. She was not going to play on me stealing anything from anybody else in the stores. She wasn't going to have that. I had 8 siblings. So my mom and dad had their hands full. I was the 6th kid. So of course I had older siblings that kind of paved the way. So then I get to high school. It's the same old story. Drugs and alcohol. And again, I iterate that I had to make the decision to say no. I had to make the decision to run away. Yeah, I got laughed at. Yeah, they said called me a little punk. You know, but I was happy. I was happy being a punk, believe it or not. Because I wanted to do right. I wanted to go to school. I loved school. The problem was I wasn't that bright. So I had to study. And somebody came to me one day and they said, Jeff, I think I'm about a 10th grader now. And they said, Jeff, did you know if you get a crime on your record or if you get arrested that you can't attend college? That no college would accept you? So that was a big wake-up call for me about if I wanted to go to college and stay clean and stay out of trouble. So one helps the other. One always helps the other. I got a son that's in 9th grade now, and I tell him all the time, stay busy. Stay busy. Get yourself involved in school activities. It don't have to be sports. He's on the student board. He's the president of his class. He was one of the ringleaders that filled the Dome project, where they feed a lot of people in Fargo-Moorhead area. So he stays busy, and that keeps him away from staying out of trouble. Now, he's a small little guy. So people like to push him around. Like you said, the bullying. And I just happened to witness that one day. And I told James, I said, James, you're going to have to start telling these people to keep their hands off of you. You know, or you're going to have to start going to the administrators and complain about what's going on. Because when you're smart, and he's a smart kid, 4.0, they want to bring you down. Same as me, when I was good at basketball,
And I didn't realize it. All the people, what they was really trying to do, they was trying to bring me down. And lucky, I caught up and we said, no, I'm going up. I'm staying on the straight path, straight line, because I want to be happy. I want to do the right thing. So I had fun at NDSU. Went on and graduated NDSU, went on to start coaching kids in '85. I love to work with kids because when you teach kids about sports, you also teaching them about life. When I used to take my basketball teams to tournaments, I made sure that my girls and boys would go to the tournament director and tell them thank you for putting on a nice tournament. Make sure you shake their hand, get a firm handshake. And when you shake their hand, make sure you make eye contact. When we walking in the door with our bags and stuff, if someone behind us, make sure you hold the door for them also. There's so many little things that you can teach kids about life. In sports, how to be on time, responsibilities, how to treat your teammates, how to cheer for each other, how to pick each other up. And so those are all the things that I like to see kids do. Now I also got a daughter that's 11th grade. That's a whole nother ball game. Oh my Lord, I never, these girls here, boy, I didn't believe it, but they got like 3 or 4 outfits in their car. You know, so mom, they might go out of the house one way, but they go into school a different way. So I let my ex-wife handle that. So yeah, my daughter she's something else. But I noticed that y'all talked about vaporing, the vapor that's going out lately. Everyone know about marijuana, alcohol, cigarettes, how to control that, how to stay away from that, how that hurt your system. But I want to tell y'all a story that happened in Fargo to someone I know, let's put it like that. That you try to save every kid, I try to save every kid. I never gave up on a kid and never will. This kid was on my team, great basketball player, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade. We had fun, won a lot of games. But I started to notice his attitude was changed. He would start talking back to his mom and dad. And then I would explain to him, I said, you do know that if I find you talking to your mom and dad like that, you can't play on the team. I said, that's all part of playing sports. You gotta respect your parents, you gotta respect everyone that's around you. So by this time, he kind of shrugged me off too. Well, a week later, took a swing at his mom. That's about the lowest thing as a kid that you could ever do, is take a swing at your mom. Luckily, I had 6 siblings, so that wouldn't even cross my mind, because they would have grabbed me so quick. But yeah, well, my mom would have grabbed me so quick too. But that's ugly, and that's a hard pill to swallow. So she went and sent him to his dad. Now let me just say this, that just because I grew up in the hood, they call it, where I was low income, didn't have a lot of clothes, had holes in my shoes. Kids would laugh at me because my mom didn't have a lot of money. And every time I came in the house and asked, Mom, can I go here? Can I do this? Can I buy that? The answer was always no. Well, the other kids got it. That's good for the other kids. But we don't have it. So just because you don't have a lot of money, just because you don't have a lot of things, that don't mean you gotta be corrupt. That don't mean you gotta like not care about yourself. Because I'm gonna tell you, I came from the gutter and I made it out. And that's what they call being in the hood, making it out of the hood. And what I mean by the hood is that crime level is high, a lot of shooting, a lot of drugs, a lot of alcohol. And then a drug came along that I don't think I heard y'all mention is their crack cocaine. And that crack cocaine just wiped out a whole group of people. I mean, it's just a terrible drug. But now let me get back on this vapor. So when they sent their kid over to his dad, now he was adopted, and their mom and dad got divorced, just like my mom and dad. Another thing, just because your mom and dad get divorced, don't mean that you gotta go be corrupt. Life goes on. You got two worlds now. So, at one of the points, the dad did not support the mom. So here is me as a coach, I got to step in and try to be the dad. And I told him, I said, man, don't you ever do that again. Because if you do, your mom's gonna call the police on you. And his dad thought that it wouldn't happen to him. Well, he took a swing at his dad. And it was because, boy, y'all hit so many great points on your essays. I mean, it was because he didn't want to turn over his phone. And guess what was on that phone? When they finally confiscated that phone, that's when they found out that he was going over to Moorhead, which is across the bridge, and buying vapors. And the sad thing about that is that the owners of those stores were selling to an underage kid. And that what hurts me. I'm more mad at the guy who sold it to him than more than him. So they found that on his phone, and it's tough. So they found out he was buying vapor, but then he took it a step further. He went to school to sell it. Yeah, right? So now he's in the bathroom, and he's telling these kids, we're talking about 8th grade, 7th, the next step. The next step for you guys. And so he's in the bathroom and he's asking people what flavor you want. Cherry, grape. You know, they target you guys. They target you guys to want to smoke. They target you guys on that vapor, making it seem like it's all great. They target you guys for alcohol. So just remember that they coming after you guys, and y'all gotta say no, no, no. So now the principal comes in the bathroom. Yeah, y'all know where this is going, don't y'all? And so he got taken to the office. Now, you're talking about something that's real hurting to a kid, to see your classmates comes in and take him out of the school, walks him out of the school. So now you see these police officers come into the school and escort this kid out. And all you can do is look. Boy, I know he must have felt like this low. At least I thought he did. So, they took him to juvenile. Juvenile is where you got to sit into a little cell till somebody come and talk to you. So they came and talked to him, and they asked him all them questions, why you did this, where you getting it from and that, why you doing this? And whatever answer he gave to the administrator, the judge, or whoever, wasn't good enough. Because they gave that kid 16 days. He had to sit in juvenile in a little room, they call it a cell, 7th grade, by himself for 16 days. So I asked his mom, I said, what about his homework? What about his schooling? Are they going to come and help this kid? So I didn't give up on him. I kept talking to his mom. I kept talking to his dad. I haven't got through him yet, but I'm not giving up. So, I don't know if somebody felt sorry for him or what, but he got out in 10 days. Oh, I was so happy. I like, man, because he go to school with my son. And he was on my team. I mean, he's a great kid. A great kid. Got 2 little brothers that look up to him. Should be a role model to those little boys. So, the school really tried to help him also. Of course, when he got to juvenile, he got expelled from the basketball team. So now, they let him back on the team to try to help him, give him encouragement. Didn't really let him play right away, but they gave him a jersey. Told him you can sit on the bench and be with your peers. The kid did it again. He did it again. And this time, he's in big, big trouble. Now, he's going to have to sit for 30 days. And now they're going to transfer him into a separate home where it's called an after-school program where kids that get in trouble, they have to go to this place. They can't hang out at school with their friends. They got to go and hang out with kids that's constantly in trouble. And I can tell you from firsthand experience, if you put a kid around another kid that's not doing right, that kid he's going to keep doing wrong. And so, right now he's in that home, after school program, he gets to sleep in his bed. He's coming around, he's making excellent progress. He's still not back in school yet. They probably won't let him back in the rest of this year. And then he's going to have to make a decision if he's going to stay straight to get back in. So, I say to y'all, always try to stay on the straight path. Always try to stay on the straight path. If someone's trying to knock you off that path, you get right back on it. And you stay clear of all that crap. Because all it's going to do is bring you down and make you a bad person. And we don't want that. And we definitely need help from the parents. Y'all got to talk to y'all kids. Y'all got to take that phone. Y'all got to go through that phone. It's your right. It's not they're not paying no bill. You got to lock that liquor cabinet up. I love to drink beer, but I made a big decision not to drink around my kids. Whether it's in the house, whether it's holidays, that's my decision though. But I know if you got a strong parenthood in the home, now he did too. But if you just keep talking to them, keep helping them, keep talking to them, they're going to be right. They're going to be happy. They need to hear your voice. They need to hear your voice. They need to hear your opinion. They want to hear your opinion. So, let's everybody work together. Thank y'all for having me here. And have a great day.
Appreciate that.
Great job. Now it's time to get some goodies, huh? All right, will the teachers come up?
My homeroom to come forward. Abdul Ahmed. Hannah Arnson. Jackson Dolman. Haley Ilsong. Sadie Funk. Angel Garza. Shira Ganon. Hazel Halbrew. Hamda Ibrahim. Cecilia Johnson. Asho Muhammad. Nadia Asmanovic. Miguel Pena. Willem Pesh. Kayla Richardson. Anna Roysam. Channing Rustman. Addison Tweeten. Genevieve Urbano. Eli Volvinus. Abdi Warsami. Mr. Mo's class.
Trayvon Benson. Jack Bergquist. Maya Burnside. Denise Scudler. Addie Curry. Farhan Nahir. Brody Elsag. Adna Ibrahim. Austin Kleinschmidt. Hassan Muhammad. Belma Esmanovich. Valeria Reyna. Claire Shaleski. Braden Seifel. Danielle Sutch. Kelsey Orson. Melanie Villagomez. Mariah Wisher. Esteban Zavala Emerson. And Haley Zavala.
Ahmed Ali. Zayla Arrow. Zaylee Arrow. Grace Backstrom. Giselle Chavez. Nayeli Diaz. Wendy Diaz. Ramses Rubio. Danny Garcia. Oscar Gonzalez. Sarah Halbrook. Zachariah Isak. Charlie Larson. Dulce Martinez. Ashley Matakiewicz. Hazen Milbeck. Chelsea Munoz. Eddie Sanchez. Brody Severson. Leah Thorson. Gage Tryman. And Lucas Verdon.
All right, until getting settled in. We have a few more things to give out. Do we want to do the bikes first? Or? All right, we'll do the bikes first. And guys, who goes first? That's right, the girls go first, right? All right. We'll have Jeff pick 2 girls.
I got it.
Got a lot of boys standing up there. Well, no, she's here today, is she? Zaliger? Zayla? We got the boys, we gotta get going. All right. You say Mr. Mole? I didn't see that. Did you call the name? I don't think you did you? His name is Trayvon? Is that right? Oh, you got to all right. There we go. Got one more, huh? Do it. Okay, we got some other things we gotta get. Okay, we got soccer balls. We got 2 boys and 2 girls. Want to pick a couple other ones? Doing a good job. Ramsey. There we go, right there. One more.
He said, who?
Of D.A.R.E. All right. For the girls. Denise. And one more. I didn't see her today. I don't think she's here.
Everybody is not here.
Who's not here? Claire. Four basketballs now. Oh, we have one more. Yep, Claire's there. Where's she at? All right, four basketballs. Sadie? One more for the girls? There we go. Got one more here, Jeff. For the girls here. Hazel? Okay, now we got boys. Two boys. Here goes Jeff. Jackson. I don't know. Should we do it? All right, Brody. Brody. Oh, we got some hats. Oh, we got some balls. I'm sorry. We got a couple more balls here. Close to it. Mariah. Nolly. Okay, some hats. Ahmed? All right, I'll just pick one out here. Sakari? Adam? Deleuze? Dulce, I'm sorry, Dulce. I'm terrible with names. Daniel Garcia? Jack Berquist. Addie. Kelsey. How many more we have? Hassan? And Brady. One more? Two more? Three more. Hannah Arnson. Asha? One more, you got? We got one more, okay. Channing. There we go. So I guess you gotta come up and sing a song for us, right? Just want to say happy birthday to Dad. So we'll sing happy birthday, right? Okay, let's go. Good job. Sorry for getting the kids all cranked up, but I guess they're out. All right, good. We want to thank Mr. Mayor. Go. You had to go. That's a mayor thing to do. I appreciate our great principal, Mr. Richardson. We want to thank our fantastic teachers. They do a great job. And we want to say thank you to Mr. Askew for coming down and giving us a good message. All right, with that, we can close and we'll have some cookies and some juice down in the 6th grade area. So I appreciate you coming out, folks, and support our kids. That's what it's all about. With that, thank you very much.